Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Outer Wilds. Apparently, I have decided to do this today instead of stream because I'm pretty invested in the game. I want to see where things are going. So last time, we're back at the Hourglass Twins. We're trying to figure out what we're doing. We met Chert. We've encountered this quantum cave with a quantum rock in it. So, Chert has set up their astronomy gear in the North Pole of Ember Twin. Chert has spotted unusually high numbers of supernovae lately. And the Nomai noticed a strange wandering rock that appears in multiple caves at Ember Twin's northern hemisphere. I found a strange rock shard that moves when I'm not watching and emits signals on the quantum fluctuations frequency. And then the wandering rock was first spotted in a cave at the bottom of the dry lake bed at Ember Twin's North Pole. A Nomai named Coleus mysteriously vanished from a cave at the bottom of the dry lake bed at Ember Twin's North Pole. But I want to explore the city more. Or attempt to explore the city more. So that's what we're going to try to do today. If we can get there before the sand makes our life miserable. We still have to get to the quantum tower at the Hollow Planet too, which is Brittle Hollow. I never look forward to going to Brittle Hollow. That is a nightmare. Okay, where is... Let's get our suit. There should be a spot. I think it's up here. Yes. That leads in. And then we just have to fly across here and not die. And that'll lead us to the city. So we're going to explore the bottommost path first, the High Energy Lab trailhead. And we're just going to go the whole way down to the bottom, I think. The High Energy Lab, 400 meters. Don't have a lot of time here because the sand comes in pretty quickly. We'll probably die to the sand in this run. But let's see what we can do, shall we? Wonder if we could have closed the door behind us. Probably not. How do we get through here? The answer is we don't. Is it something maybe we could get into after a period of time, maybe? Maybe. The sand is like holding on to me. Alright, well let's head back. Let's see if there's any other information here. And then maybe we'll try to come back when there's a little bit more sand. But not too much sand. That isn't exactly what I had in mind, game. Or maybe it is. So what do we have going on here? Stepping Stone Cave. This is basically set up so you can only explore like one area at a time. It's supposed to force you to do multiple runs. I think we do the bottom one first, because that seems like it's something that we have the least amount of time to do. And we'll probably die. Would be my guess. But that's okay. At this point, death is a result. Gamers don't look up. So the idea is that we have to get over these, like, plants. But the suit has, the sand has to be high enough to do that. What is this? That can't be right. I like how the game's just, like, intentionally trying to kill me. Okay, well, we're somewhere now. Okay. How did that help me? Well, we can't go up here any farther, so there must be another path this way. "60 seconds of oxygen remaining." That's not good. Okay. Oh, good. There's oxygen here. Remove warp core. Insert warp core. Maybe we don't monkey with the random warp cores just yet. Records show Nomai arriving at the warp receiver on Brittle Hollow very slightly before departing from the White Hole Station. Raimi and I are devising an experiment to test if this is a real phenomenon or simple machine error. In theory, what we want to try to reproduce is a negative amount of time elapsing between something entering the black hole and exiting the white hole at its destination. Initial things first. Our experiment setup will first pair a small black hole core with a small white hole core to mimic the setup on the White Hole Station. Hypothesis. It's possible for an object to exit a white hole before entering the corresponding black hole. What's this? Oh, I don't think I want to mess with that. An update. Our experiment here reproduced an anomaly in arrival and departure times, but Pi is unconvinced it's more than an equipment error. I hope to strengthen the effect to render it visible to the unaided eye. To think that we've decided to try adding more energy. I imagine the Sunless City's energy supply should prove sufficient. Of note, Raimi, Yarrow requests that we let him know before we reroute energy to the experiment. I'd hate to leave him in the dark. All available energy has been rerouted from the city to our experiment. Raimi and I are about to run a new test. Hypothesis confirmed. Hypothesis confirmed. I saw it. Pi saw. Hypothesis confirmed. This is beyond extraordinary. This changes everything. What a beautiful day for the intersection of abstract theory and practical application. What did that do? Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Whatever. Let's see what's going on up here. These are all probably relevant. The Southern Observatory is asking if creating a 22-minute interval is possible. That is, to have something arrive 22 minutes before it is actually sent through the warp. We've learned the negative interval of time between departure and arrival can be increased by adding more energy to the warp core. Problematically, the energy required to extend the interval increases at an exponential rate. Hypothesis: creating a 22-minute long interval is possible, but we're currently unable to generate the necessary energy. The energy is currently unavailable, you say. My pun was unintended, so I believe it's you who are Aeriform. Raimi and I believe it will be necessary to invent a new method of producing energy, a thrilling but enormous undertaking. We would also require advanced warp technology able to handle such energy. We would also likely need an enormous amount of space to fit these proposed new energy and warp technologies together. The only location large enough would be Ash Twin. The Ash Twin project will be one of our biggest undertakings. To build it, we need a way to travel quickly between Ash Twin and each location that holds crucial project material. What if we used warp towers, like the one we have on the White Hole Station, to connect Ash Twin directly to each critical location? Pokeroot and I could begin working on this immediately in the Black Hole Forge. This will keep us busy. Of note, each tower on Ash Twin will warp to a different planet. My gratitude to those who noted my imprecise language. Yes, the sun is not a planet. I believe this has been sufficiently clarified. Kindly stop reminding me. We can design each tower to visually reflect its warp destination. The Giant's Deep Tower, for instance, could resemble a cyclone, and we could model the Timber Hearth Tower after a geyser mountain. Sorry, my ear is really itchy today. But to what end? What are we trying to accomplish here? Yes, we've been here before. And what did we do? Like, we pulled energy in instead of putting it out. Nothing. If we put two black holes? Also nothing. So we have to do a black hole and a white hole. A white hole. But what does this do for me? This doesn't seem to do anything for me. Weird. We're kind of stuck here, aren't we? I wonder what deactivating this did, if anything. Let's go follow where the signal would have gone. Oh, we can't. Looks like there's maybe another path underneath, but we probably aren't going to have time to actually explore that path. Okay. So this didn't really help much. I mean, that's one thing at the city. There's still a bunch of other areas we need to explore. And we may not even be done there. It's hard to say. We're gonna try to get our ship. Ow. This is fine. Return home. And let's see what info we have. Yes. Okay. The Nomai successfully reproduced the terminal anomaly first observed at the White Hole Station. Warped objects appear to arrive before they depart. The Nomai discovered they could increase the negative time interval between arrival and departure by adding energy to the warp cores. The Nomai wanted to know if a 22-minute negative time interval was possible. They concluded it would require new technology to produce the necessary energy, as well as advanced warp core to handle these energies. Ash Twin was proposed as a location for the project. Designs for each of the tower on Ash Twin's equator. Each warp tower warps to a different planet, although many Nomai were quick to note that the sun is not actually a planet. Each tower was designed to visually reflect its warp destination. The towers allowed Nomai to quickly travel between Ash Twin and all other locations crucial to the Ash Twin project. Nomai plan to construct technology capable of producing a 22-minute negative time interval on Ash Twin. What does that do for us? I mean, we may have to go check out Ash Twin if we have the time to. The sand's about done. I can't remember if I've been in here before. I mean, only one way to find out, right? I need to make sure I land this right. I'm not going to get another chance. Okay. Well, this is awkward. Okay. Some time has passed since I checked in with you, Pi. How are you and IDEA progressing with the Sun Station plans? Presently, the assessment is that our plan will either fail explosively or succeed explosively. Pi, you know I don't find that very funny. Hypothesis: time spent away from the station would be beneficial to both of you. Okay, we did read that. Yeah, there's no easy path through here. There goes our ship. That's pretty awkward. Goodbye, ship. So there's gotta be a path into here. Or maybe I do have to get onto the Sun Station, and then I can use the path from there. Could be. Hello? Where do I use you? Friends visiting from the Hanging City, we are planning the Ash Twin project at the High Energy Lab on Ember Twin's equator. I became lost on Ember Twin. My gratitude that Raimi found me. But the High Energy Lab is the building with the large solar panels. I'm surprised I didn't see it. I imagine our otherwise immensely clever Kanoi would lose his own head if it weren't anatomically possible. Well, that doesn't help me at all. Where do you think these go? You think they go to Ash Twin or Ember Twin? Maybe. Guess we're gonna find out soon. Does not... Oh. Okay. Return warp status charged. Step onto the warp receiver to activate return warp. Okay. So that warps us between Ash Twin and Ember Twin. I assume both of these will warp the same way. Not sure what that does for me, though. Other than give me the opportunity to jump between planets. Which is not really something that I was looking for. Regardless, I am once again wondering if the solar station is a place that we need to get to. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. That way we can get into that tower, that one right there. Because we can't get into it from the outside. At least it seems like we can't get to it from the outside. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Still have to get to the quantum moon. We have to get to the quantum tower. We haven't done any of that stuff yet. There's still so much we gotta do. But that's gonna have to be for another time, it seems, because we have run out of it. Until next time, folks, happy gaming.